Hey guys, here's something I've been meaning to do for a while. It's actually one of those yearly reviews of the best stuff I got through the year. I could do it like with new releases and stuff, but honestly, there's just as many or if not more of old, so I'll just mix the two rather than separate. I feel like separating them would be boring. What I'll do is go with superhero stuff first, because I know that's kind of like people that are just looking for that, they can just see it. Then we've got action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi, and then crime, horror, independent stuff, and we'll finish with art books. So let's go with here's superhero stuff first. A lot of that is going to be not just good reads, but monetary value, of course, too. That's one thing when you're dealing with that genre. And this is a first edition hardcover of Batman Year One, and it's in like near minty shape too, I'd say. There's not a mark on it, and I found this at the flea market with our legendary Dan Mad Cat Comics, one of the favorite vendors ever of all time. Not to plug that guy, but well deserved. I think this was priced at like $3, but he like talked me down to $2 or something. Like he's like, they just wanted to get rid of it. But like on Lone Star or mycomicshop.com, this is listed currently in mid-grade at almost $700. That's a bit wild though. On eBay, even in near mint, this is listed around like 75 Canadian plus shipping, so maybe that's more reasonable, but a cool ass find. And when it comes to superhero stuff, I'll be showing you probably either stuff you didn't hear of or something that's like valuable, even though I'm not like one of those guys that gets a lot of valuable stuff. Okay, so oh yeah, and this is all books. I'll do a comics one later for the weekend, I imagine. Okay, that's all the superhero stuff. Yeah, it's mostly non-superhero stuff here, but the comics will have plenty of that. Okay, next up, this is like kind of like the prestige format. That's why I'm like going with this rig. Timothy Truman and Tim Bradstreet Dragon Chang. This is, I'll just when I get to a new release, I'll mention it, and I'll put chapter rigs maybe for the genres here. But just a fun post-apocalypse sci-fi action adventure, kind of like Mad Max or something. You know, I've probably, you know, this is my kind of jam. You're outside the law, almost like manga with the amount of like detail and vistas and like background detail and stuff too. If this was a movie, this would be like a short, well, a sweet 90-minute, a tight 90 minutes. Probably as a reading, though, it might feel more like about 45 or an hour, but a pretty cool one. This was a cool find. Okay, next with action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi. Grendel Warchild. A lot of you cats that watch this channel were already familiar with this, but I think it like won Eisners when it came out. But super fun. A super fun read. Great cartooning and storytelling throughout the whole thing. And even though it's wasn't an 8-issue series, each even issue worth is just a banger. Just full of like action and cool characterization and drama and crime and intrigue. It's awesome, man. This is just, I don't really chase series that win awards necessarily. Nothing against it, but just, you know, seeing all the Academy Award stuff is like it kind of turns you off of like awards. Or I always tend to think like, what does that even mean really? But in comics it's a lot different. There's still, awards still carry prestige. I think it's not just a big circle jerk or whatever. Let's keep pertinent to this and not go on hateful rants here. But this is just awesome. This is so awesome. And you can see, for any fans of The Mandalorian, this was probably a huge influence at times. The people who worked on that, they must have read this. This is just awesome, man. This is pure great light comics. Speaking of which, we've covered this before. This is a new release, the Rook Exodus, the deluxe hardcover edition. Listen to that creaking as it opens. This I like to get in the big edition because it's just bigger. You could look at it better. Yeah, man. I'm just kind of randomly flipping through here. I didn't flag pages and stuff, but just because I can confidently do that. This is strong throughout the whole thing. Just as I've said before, this is like if big budget action sci-fi was done right. Like, I mean, in movies nowadays we don't really have anything. Like back in the day we would have like RoboCop, Terminator, Total Recall, stuff like that, or even even like Aliens and stuff like that. This is just, you know, or Blade Runner. Not that this is like that, it's just that you get like what do you call it, a creator, an auteur, in this case a team, creating their own world, their own unique vision, with like amazing, if it had amazing budget and special effects, and just like teams of great design and great like set pieces, action sequences. So yeah, it's just plain good. It's not like with those movies, actually, you know, Terminator, RoboCop and stuff, there's like a lot to chew on, but this is, maybe there is some good like deeper writing and stuff, but mainly it's just to have that, just like a great action sci-fi series that's really entertaining and just really well done. Everybody throughout is doing just a bang up kick-ass job. Like there's no like shortcomings in the art, like anywhere. They're just fucking on the ball, man. We'll go into this later, maybe when the comics with the new series, spoiler, because of course the second season of this came out this year. Oh, here's the variant pages, or the variant covers. All these character cards too. Okay, moving on. Okay, now we're at the crime section. Okay, from John Evans and art by Andrea Muti, The Executor. This was a Vertigo crime, kind of like the novel-sized. So when this guy's ex-girlfriend dies, he's kind of like a hometown boy who made good and got out. But for some reason his ex-girlfriend names him the executor to her will and brings him back. He gets involved with all of this dark kind of noir intrigue. Very suspenseful. It's like Native American or Native Canadian kind of aspect as well. Kind of like working your way like out of the reservation, getting kind of resented for it, stuff like that. But crazy shit, man. This was I read this like pretty long ago, so it was hard for me to remember like the further details, further than that it was like hard to put down. Just read it like powered, just got right through it, couldn't put it down, and didn't want to take it out of the collection. More Vertigo crime mini novels. I've never seen these before. More crime. This is a classic, especially if you fetishize like guns and cars. Kenichi Sonoda, who of course did designs for Bubblegum Crisis, and just a bounty hunter getting involved with the underground crime world in Chicago, hunting bounties, trying to stay out of trouble, getting in trouble a lot. This is like a really fast-paced action movie, like full of action, especially like guns and car chases. a lot of gunplay. She's a gunsmith, of course, who also works as a bounty hunter. It's almost like every 8 issues would be like a 90-minute movie. It just reads so fast. And really great action illustration. They have the single trade paperbacks, but those are like kind of $30 to $50 each. And each one of these maybe has like 3 or 4 already by themselves. So this might be the better way to do it, honestly. Maybe there's like 3, at least 2 in these. So if you're into this, this might be a good value, because those other ones are hard to find, hard to hunt down. And the second omnibus also came out this past year. Sorry if my descriptions aren't super in-depth. This is kind of a warm-up for a more in-depth comic video I think that will be coming. This will be a little bit more fast-paced. This one with like books and trade paperbacks. Okay, James Bond Vargur. Talked about this not too long ago. For anybody who's been here a little while, you saw Warren Ellis and let's see who the artist's name is here. Kind of forget. How come they don't have it on the inside page? Last name is Masters anyway. Just freaking show it here. How am I supposed to keep track of this? I'm pretty good with... Okay, Jason Masters. But yeah, Warren Ellis just really hitting the tropes and doing them very well. Everything from like M, Moneypenny, you know, like a kind of smart but twisted evil genius bad guy. The Heavy, that's scary, done well. All the action sequences are done really well too. And even though Warren Ellis is one of my favorite writers, but I'm not... He's not like nobody is above critique. He could be like a little bit what's it called? Indulgent maybe sometimes in the writing, you know, maybe you could call it Whedon speak or anything with like quippy dialogue and stuff. Everybody was a victim of that around this era, maybe of the 2000s to 2010s or whatever, before people started to realize that it was getting old. But in this, there's none of that. This is just really, really tight. This is just so well done. So if you're into Warren Ellis or James Bond or kind of crime spy stuff, this one would be a hit. Also, I forgot to mention the Mike Grell James Bond as well, and the mentioned Galassi James Bond series. I think that one's called Serpent's Tooth. Those are all very solid, but Grell would probably be like my second favorite that I've read recently, and Vargur probably my favorite. Okay, Richard Stark's Parker series. You've seen Payback with Mel Gibson. There was also The Outfit with Robert Duvall. What's the other movie where it's almost the same plot as Payback? And it's, was it James Coburn? Or it was Lee Marvin, rather. Playing the same Parker character. The novelist Richard Stark, he never allowed the name Parker, the character, to be used in any adaptation, say in film, before. So, but he liked this adaptation by Darwin Cook so much that he did allow it as the story. This is just cold-blooded, kick-ass noir. Tritone, black, white, and blue. It looks so good. It's kind of like a classic, almost like 1940s or 50s-ish illustration, and it's like, look at like wordless pages of wordless stuff. Not afraid to just embrace the medium. This is so good. This is definitely some of my top finds for sure of the year. So glad to have found these. Just missing one more, then I'll have the complete set. I'll definitely be sending away for that like very soon. Very soon. These are like gold. Couldn't get rid of these. No, these are fucking good, man. If you like crime or noir, some of the best that I've read, certainly, and I've read like an okay amount of that stuff. Speaking of which, more crime. Torpedo by Abuli and Bernay. What could we say about this? That it is like cold-blooded, bleak, dark, but at the same time balanced with aspects of like comedy or humanity, pathos. Did I say humor? As dark as it is, there is like a lightheartedness that is almost dark, in that lightheartedness exists in it. You know, like think of the yin yang, that little pool of white in that ocean of black oil and dirtiness. It's crazy that it has that. Like you could almost feel dirty reading these, but they're so good. There's like nothing almost as hardcore crime, or like, I mean, he's a fucking asshole. He does horrible things all the time. I mean, smacking around ladies here is like the tip of the iceberg. You'll still root for him though, and also at times maybe even pity him, or feel like you understand him better than he understands himself. It's kind of like I think there was one synopsis saying like he's kind of stuck being this like hood, that what else could he be? The kind of like evil cleverness and stupidity that he has. What else could he possibly be? I would never call him stupid to his face, though, ever. Torpedo, Napoli, and Bernay. Trying to get these. Lord, let me get a complete set of these. These are fantastic. Okay, that was crime. Now we're moving to horror. Oh my god, did I just rip a fucking very expensive book as it was falling over? Oh, okay, I don't think I did. Holy crap. It's hard to do these videos. Okay, this is still an old one. This is M by John J. Muth, the comic adaptation via painting of the old Fritz Lang horror kind of serial killer crime movie. There's a very haunted, almost ghostly quality to this. The stillness, there's a feeling of like loneliness, or you almost feel like a ghost reading this or something. Not a fly on the wall, but it's really good. Because, I mean, the movie is its own thing, too. To not just adapt it, but to give it something different that could only be done in this comic medium. Very underrated. I haven't really ever heard anybody talk about this series. Look at this shadow as he approaches the soon-to-be victim, young girl here. What a pretty ball. What's her name? Even her face, there's something kind of like menacing and cold and just sinister lurking inside every image. Oh, it comes with this record too of them covering In the Hall of Mountain King. Of course, it was Peter Lorre that played this villain in the original. Look at her face too. It's just so, there's a lot of greatness in this. Great paintings and stuff. Flip through a little bit of the next issue. There are a couple of things I'd like to showcase that might not have been seen before. I think maybe this could be found in like bargain bins and stuff. I haven't seen it around too often, but it's fascinating. I mean, Fritz Lang is fucking incredible. That shit is crazy, man. But this movie is awesome, but this adaptation is like, look at this. The images as the killer watches the reflection of the girl while he's looking in the window with these like knives, and also how the reflection of the shop across the street says toys. The knives and the little girl kind of being toys maybe to him there, if you want to get to like some kind of like analytical film or composition. This apple. I want to show you this part. Look at his face too. That's so subtle and so good. Was this, it's been a while since I've seen the film where he's like hallucinating and seeing like superimposed the image of this girl that he's murdered on this table when he goes into the restaurant. That's done so well. I mean, we've all seen like Havoc and Wolverine Meltdown, and have we all given it a chance but not been impressed? But this is crazy. I had no idea John J. Muth could do stuff like this. This is incredible. I wonder what else he's done. This is a bit old though. This must be, I'm guessing, around like 90 or something. Yeah, 1990. Okay, moving on. That was cool as hell. We're about like last of the horror section here. This is a new release. You know, if you've been around for a little bit, you've heard me talk about this one. Originally from heavy metal, Requiem Vampire Nights by Pat Mills and Olivier Ledoux. This is just pure like heavy metal, bang your head, devil horns, carving things into your desk, like just evil. Or like, you know, how good heavy metal music is, or I don't know what kind of stuff you like. Me, I like Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne and stuff, or maybe some like old stoner rock and stuff too when it's like kind of evil. Maybe Caius or Queens of the Stone Age when they sound kind of evil. But oh yeah, Danzig. Psychic TV covering Pink Floyd. I don't know, what else you got, man? What else you got? I'll try to... Just the kind of vibes. It's hard for me to explain this without being redundant, but the paintings of Ledoux are just fucking insane, man. He's a monster. Talked about this enough. For anybody new, this is the more evil you are in hell or in life, the more power you incarnate with when you're reborn in hell. And there's different castes of like ghouls and vampires and werewolves and stuff, depending on the nature of your crimes, and the nature of your evil will depend on the type of monster you are when you're born in hell. And yeah, it coalesces all times too. So there's people from the future, from the past. You know, the greatest evil figures in history as well will be kind of the most powerful rulers in hell. Yeah, just fun. Crazy fun. And man, like, just painting like this, he must exercise painting as much as other people like exercise doodling. He must just be at it all the time, I would imagine. The colors too, this glowing like ephemeral, like absinthe kind of ad green. He just does so much cool stuff. The bloodish, dark reds, like almost black. His grays for these desolate ruins and stuff. He's really got some skills. Torquemada. Okay, moving on. Okay, now we're at indie stuff. You know, I had to talk about this one. One of my favorites, for sure. Caravaggio, The Palette and the Sword. Is this from... Fantagraphics put this out. The Fantagraphics Milo Manoro Signature Editions Library. I guess that'll be a series to watch out for. Look at this, like, beautiful embossed gold, too. The cover price, only $19.99? Am I reading that right? This is so worth it, man. To see Manara do something that's not erotica, though his erotica is like hot as hell, it seems like he's equally, or maybe even more, dedicated to this historical biography on a great and troubled Renaissance painter. Did work for the Catholic Church. Rome. Was banished from Rome for dueling, killing a pimp of one of his friends. Of course, one of these friends was a prostitute that he used as a model in like holy paintings and stuff. A very controversial figure, but seen in a very passionate guy, that he would like go into these duels against who he would see as villains at like the drop of a hat, as well at the drop of a hat, to be inspired to make beautiful paintings. So this is a very inspirational piece by Manara, as well as very skilled. Just to see somebody who we might forget, like, these are kind of like people we can look up to as almost like a Western or a hero, that he's like just fucking getting into fights, but also so inspired to capture what he sees as beauty in this like corrupt world. Just fantastic. And Manara's skills and storytelling are no slouch. He might be thought of as just just erotica, but this shows that he's capable of way more. Maybe my favorite thing that he's done so far, although there was a newer release of I forget what it's called, but in this library continuing as well. I haven't got around to reading yet, so that'll be one to see. Check him out. This fucking guy. What a guy. And there's these analysis or critiques or just like little insights on Caravaggio's actual paintings. A 2-part series, worth every penny. $19.99 each. You're never gonna find anywhere better to spend that $20. I don't know what could be better. Although my comic shop, my LCS owner, did offer me this for $15, an autographed and remarked copy of Ed the Happy Clown trade paperback. I'm still working through this, but it has been so funny, so dark. So I said when I originally in my original haul video of this, is that kind of really dark, vicious humor, maybe something like Johnny Ryan, is something that I really appreciate. And I'm glad I'm always scared of these indie things that it'll be kind of like I guess maybe pretentious or looking for sympathy or pretending to be sensitive and that kind of shit that I just loathe. But this seems like it is unflinchingly vicious and hilarious for it. So this seems to be a keeper so far for the collection. At the Happy Clown by Chester Brown. This one came out last year, but I didn't get around to talking about it really. But as like I just mentioned, Johnny Ryan, I guess I'm wondering why the frick can I see solicitations of Johnny Ryan stuff anymore? But I guess the new stuff is only solicited from like some French website overseas or something. Dan Elson, shout out that you were talking about that stuff. I definitely have to put it in order for that stuff, but it's always a big deal shipping anything. It's always like, I just have to make note, again, a New Year's resolution. Like, stay away, like, rather than getting $100 bin things, once in a while get like something that kicks fucking ass for $100 or something instead. This is insane. This makes me laugh so hard that I'll get like my face will hurt or my stomach and throat. Like, this just is hysterical. If you have a dark sense of humor, which I know not everybody does, not everybody appreciates Johnny Ryan. If you have a what would you call it? If you have like a misconception or a prejudging idea of Johnny Ryan without giving it a chance, maybe I'd say give him a chance, because people that are fans people that anybody like following this channel, you might have the same kind of sensibilities of just this kind of like dark humor that is like, it's almost like abstract or almost dreamlike, if the dream is demented, the logic and unfolding of plot. It's so goddamn hysterical, man. It's so insane too. I love his stuff, but this one, I mean, Angry Youth Comics back in the day, or Shouldn't You Be Working, the doodles and like the Instagram, and even he had a website where you would just click on the cartoon. It would like take up the screen and then you could click on it and it would like randomly take it to the next one, or else in sequence. Like, just great. He's been doing great stuff the whole time, but out of all the years, this one like had me in stitches, man. Like my sides hurt from like laughing. I was like fucking in pain, like almost like crying laughing from this, man. So nuts. Fat cop. This one I'd say just get like based on the value. If you're looking for this, it's hard to get the single issues. I guess there's only 2 omnibus that could fit the whole series, right? $29.99 cover price American for Hate by Peter Begg. So it's pretty good. You can get these all in like 2 omnibuy. I do have the single issues and I want to keep both, but being formative, I mean, I was kind of like an awkward, almost like overly sensitive kid or something, or just always, I don't know if it's a Catholic thing of like, always thinking like, oh, it's my fault, I need to be nicer and stuff. But this helped me develop and have that inner monologue of being like, one thing I always like saw about Buddy Bradley is his inner monologue of being like, shut up, you're full of shit, like while people are talking to him and stuff, and kind of sticking up for himself or having his own back, the cynicism kind of coming to terms with being able to function in the world. So that's something that I appreciated as a young adult. That's the best critique or insight that I can give to this. I don't know, not to insert myself here, but that's kind of like the biggest thing I've gotten out of this, out of all the years, is kind of his ability to just be at balance. He's like not a person that's going to try to change the world or cause any kind of revolution, but just live a life of balance and like get along with people, even though he's imperfect and they're imperfect, and like have leading kind of like a critical life. But yeah, pretty good stuff. It's not just hate, there's some love too. Get close to the end. This art book, Bubblegum Crisis, Complete Archive. I just love Kenichi Tsunada's art and the Bubblegum Crisis concept art and promotional art. That's what this is. So this is a thick boy. Really vast. It's just packed too. I see these color pieces by Tsunoda. This is quite a few pages, and they're all just really nice. I think when I originally opened this, I didn't necessarily show that much, but let's do so now a little bit. Yeah, I guess a lot of these are like even watercolor, maybe gouache. These are, so many of these would be worth like just taking a print shop and blowing up into posters. Not to look like a weeb, but I do love the 80 Police World. Oh, this is classic here. Maybe I should revisit these. Sometimes when you watch like cartoons you watched as a kid, they don't quite like hold up. Oh yeah. Like I think I tried to watch Dragon Ball Z and like Ninja Turtles and stuff recently, but it wasn't like, they were alright, but I was like, yeah, I can't really, I feel like I want to watch something else. These are for like 8-year-old me, or like if there was a kid around or something. But I think I could get along with this. I've recently rewatched some of the 80 Police and they were pretty sick still. Held up pretty good still. Some good cyberpunk. I love concept art stuff too. I'll have some better insights in the next video. Right now I'm just saying like, I love this. This is nice. I'm not really bringing any kind of like super intelligent stuff into this particular one. It's good. It's just plain good. And this is thick. I mean, like, I've barely shown even like way less than half of this. This was a pretty good value. Was this? Oh, $60 US. Nah, it's pretty pretty up there. Let me say this though, mine was shrink wrapped, and if you're looking for this, look for if it has this printing error. You might want to avoid it, because if you're ever going to resell, or say if like, you know, future generations or something, mine was like the paper was kind of like folded over and like jammed in, like there was a printing error. But at the time I was like, ah, fuck it, I'll just like cut it, get it open. But you'll see it's not near mint anymore. Look at it, it's like, what does that make it? VG or something? If you're capable of getting your own back, just watch out for that. Or, you know, if you're in the store, look out, or get a refund or discount or whatever it is. Okay, getting to second last. Oh crap! You know what? I forgot to mention Dimwood in the horror books too. Damn it! I'll try to show that in the comic ones. Okay, second last book. Drawing Down the Moon, the Art of Charles Vess. Artbooks here. I just love this guy's stuff. This kind of line work. I've showed this before, but yeah, and it has these like, where you have the this kind of like a vellum overlay with the pencils. Holy shit, that just reminds you how fun it can be to work in pencil. Fuck, I forgot. That's so good. And then the finished piece there. One of my favorite line artists, but in color too. You can often create this ethereal kind of glowing quality when it comes to light and color. Oh yeah, this is a famous one by him, of course. This is another one that's like just jam-packed. Is this a guy that like he goes to like Renaissance fairs and stuff? If you see pictures of him, looks like a Renaissance weeb. I'm not hating. I'm saying that actually out of love. That's just that's a real dude, man. Like this guy's a real G. The shadows there, really nice. Sometimes I won't have the smartest stuff to say. It's a little bit busy, so in order to do this, this time of the year is just insane for like 2 months straight. But in order to do this video, I am hurrying a little bit. I didn't prepare by flipping through everything and flagging everything and planning stuff to say, so please forgive me. I hope the quality of the commentary isn't too poor, but when I can think of things to add, I will. Yeah, we talked about this before, this this foreground, midground, and background. The frothy kind of like mistiness, making it recede into the background. The more kind of white everything goes. This is awesome. Yeah, like I said, his ability to create like a glowing quality. I guess you could call it like chiaroscuro in a way, right? Just the super high contrast. Maybe leaving parts of the page, like this would be just like a wash he would have used, like a very pale yellow. And then these are kind of like maybe even masked off or left untouched. Those pages or those areas of like intense light. It's just awesome, man. This makes me feel like I would want to be a Renaissance weeb. I'm just joking. I'm talking shit. But he actually did that book of ballads and sagas, which are like adaptations of folk tales from like the Middle Ages and stuff, legends and ballads, songs. And there's even commentary and articles back in that about the songs like through the ages. You know, the Elfin King, the evolution of the song to the Scarborough Fair, songs about just doing impossible tasks for love, or songs about getting raped by elves and shit, and just crazy stuff. Or, well, the Elephant King, that's Scarborough Fair, but what else? Sorry, I'm getting a couple of things muddled in my mind right now. Tamlin Child. What's the one song I wanted to... I'm thinking of like the Bonnie Likes of 40, but that song's nuts too. But there's one I want to... The Unquiet Grave. That one's fucking sick. Get some Griffin. That's nuts. Being in love with ghosts and stuff like that. And just awesome. And I just love all that kind of dark gothic shit. So even when it comes to this kind of like mystical Avalon fairy stuff, that's kind of like a great mid-ground of the two, man. I do recommend that stuff very highly. Those dark old kind of like murder ballads almost, or just awesome stuff. Okay, we're showing a lot of this. I'm not going to show a lot of the next one. So this is a little teaser that is coming up that I'm going to talk about this on a catch up of a mail haul. This is the Studio, kind of a legendary art book. Jeffrey Jones, Mike Kaluta, Barry Windsor-Smith, and Bernie Wrightson. This is a recent acquirement, and I will take a little bit of time in another upcoming video to go over this. But this is one of the favorites of the year too, so not to leave you on that bombshell, as Clarkson and co would say. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stick around. It's great to have you guys around, and Happy New Year. We'll talk to you soon, and hoping that your season and year are going great so far, and that you're finding great things out there of all types as well. All right, thank you.